citizen when the Carpentersville. I think I voted for you a couple of times already, and even the time you lost. My name is Jim Arnold. So all I want to say is, if we were, as a U.S. citizen, immigrated to any foreign country in the world illegally, I don't think we would be treated fairly. Thrown in jail, kicked out of the country or something. We sure couldn't get driver's license, so please vote no.
I was not going to say anything at all, but I'm sick and tired of people accusing somebody, these wonderful people, and they're wonderful on the side too, of a politics of hate. Man, we don't hate anybody. We don't hate anybody. We love our country, and we know that many of our wonderful men have died in battle to save our country, to fight for our country. And so we could grow up under a constitutional country, which has been lost. And I don't know if you're aware of the fact that President Bush and Vicente Fox and Paul Martin from Canada made a pact to destroy the borders between the United States and Mexico and the United States and Canada. I don't know if you're aware about this. Well, it's called the North American Union. And there's not going to be any border security until Kansas City and Mexico is going to be running that security in Kansas City. If you want information, I'll give it to you. But Madam also, and Senator Noland, I spent a lot of time in Mexico because a friend of mine had a home there. And I truly love Mexico. It's a beautiful country. And I would wish our legislators and would talk to the people from Mexico, their officials, because they are giving their people tips on how to come into this country illegally. And it is just wrong to aid and abet anything illegal. And Senator, I have a question for you. Do you have dual citizenship at all?
No, I do not.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. I just had to ask that question because I want your loyalties to be here to the United States of America, not to any other country or any other race, because we are all Americans. But again, we don't hate anybody. It's because we love our country when we want to keep it American. And I just want to point out that unlike people from ICIRR, our grassroots people don't get $15 million in Illinois funding. Other point I would like to make is two questions for you. The number one question is, how much is the candy bar worth you're giving away? And the second question is, we'll get to in a minute. This is brought up because when my children were little, I took one to the store, and when I got home, I noticed he had a candy bar which I hadn't purchased. After a brief conversation, it was determined that he saw the candy bar on the counter at the grocery store, picked it up and put it in his pocket, because after all, it was appealing, it looked good, and he was 5 years old. The end result was that he had to take the money for the candy bar out of his piggy bank, get back in the car, go with me to the store, give back the candy bar, and pay for it. Unfortunately, what we're watching in our Illinois State Senate is people who don't know what the candy bar is worth that they're giving away. And they don't care who pays for it. We are concerned about the laws. We're concerned about people upholding the laws, and that's what you're elected to do. We don't reward criminal activity. It's never been the American way, and we don't want to see that changed. So again, do you have any idea how much the candy bar is worth that you're giving away?
Because last week in the Senate Executive Committee, they spent a great deal of time trying to determine the funds that will be coming from these driver's licenses, $10 for the license, plus a minimum of $50. How do we keep that from being swept? As you know, there are hundreds of funds in the state of Illinois that have been bankrupted because we're giving away freebies to people who should not have them. So if we're supposed to believe that this minimum of $60 per certificate is going to ensure the people of the state of Illinois in any way that they will be reimbursed for accidental injury at the hands of an illegal, we're kidding ourselves. You know it, and I know it. The money will not be there. Just like the insurance fund is bankrupt, the real estate fund is bankrupt, there are police funds, agricultural funds, all the way down the list. Hundreds of them. How much is your candy bar worth? Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Noland, for coming to listen to us. We appreciate it. I am D-Elgin, a resident of D-Elgin. This bill may have a small impact on road safety for a short time, but we will quickly have many more illegal aliens show up because we'll be attacking them in large numbers. And this is an economic issue as much as a safety issue, because the economic issue is that if you flood the labor market for low-wage jobs, those jobs, wages go lower and lower until they are minimum wage, and that if you can get a good 40-hour-week job instead of just working 30 hours or even 20 hours a week. So we're going to have a bunch of people, U.S. citizens, Illinois citizens, people who were born here, people whose grandparents were born in the United States, and newcomers all trying to push wages down, and we're all going to be poor. All of us will be very, very poor. So safety will not improve, we'll just get poor. Of course, I won't get poor, I have a college degree. You have a college degree too, so you're pretty safe in being able to go to being a lawyer if how a political career goes down.
Be so sure.
Why do you say that?
I'm trying to say, Mike. I'm sorry.
Why do you say that?
Just a general.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
This is a cruel bill, very cruel bill, because there are people from all over the world living in Elgin, from China. I've met people from China, India, Mexico, all over the place, I would have to say. And they're very wonderful people, very great people. But we can't have them all come into Illinois to live and to depress our wages. Now, you may think that this bill is making things nice and beneficial for people who need work and are poor and need to go get to jobs somewhere. Okay? You are not being generous. Okay? Generosity is when you take away something that you own, not something that belongs to this person or this person or this person. Okay? Some poor laborer, some poor guy whose only job he can get is to be a busboy someplace can only get minimum wage because of unfair suppression of wages. So, if you want to be generous, why don't you take something that you own and give it away? Permitting illegal aliens to flood our labor market is stealing manual laborers' jobs that many American citizens and our legal residents depend upon. To be generous, truly, you should give away jobs in the legal profession. There are many educated people in China, India, Eastern Europe, Latin America, who would be overjoyed to be invited into the United States to work as lawyers.